Hello.
How are you?
You alright?
How are you?
No bad. You hear me alright?
I can hear you, but there's an echo. Do you have headphones at all?
Do you have headphones at all?
I already checked them earlier. I didn't think it works with the headphones.
Do you know if anyone else has got any?
Any of you's got headphones with you? Earphones? Aye, my mate. That's, well, I don't know how that's... Are they wireless?
You should be able to plug them into the phone.
You should be able to plug them into the phone.
Or is it a new one?
I've not got...
Or is it a new one?
It's a new iPhone that doesn't work.
Oh.
Is it that bad that it doesn't work?
It's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad.
What about if you turn down the volume
What
your
about
end?
if you turn down the volume your end?
What about that?
Yeah, that sounds... oh, no.
Yeah, that sounds... Oh, no.
Here, Bradley, go and ask them if they'll turn the music down. Because I'm there. Is it... Do you know if it's the music or that?
No, it's my voice is echoing.
No, it's my voice is echoing.
Right.
Let me try it with me without
Let me try it with me without headphones.
Anybody got wireless headphones with them, no? Or that wee iPhone?
Sorry, Stevie.
Sorry, Stevie.
The new one? Oh, wait. I think this might work. 2 secs. Is that went better, actually?
No,
with the
that
music
was
went
better.
up?
Yeah,
No?
yeah.
No, that was better. Yeah.
Maybe there.
It's not a Facebook Live, so there's a technical hit anyway.
Sorry, 2 secs. Two secs. You watching that?
I like to keep the viewers in suspense anyway.
Is that?
That might be it.
Well.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Great.
Okay. Cool.
Can you hear me?
Barely fits in my ear. Just gone in there.
That's wrestlers'
There we go.
Fighter's ears. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, yep.
Well, first of all,
Did you
I
get
want
there?
to say massive congratulations for your big win at UFC Moncton. Superb performance. How did you feel it went?
Thank you. Went alright. To be honest, I wasn't that happy with my performance. I didn't have the best of fight camps. I had a injured knee pretty much the whole camp. I was very limited to what I could do. I had to ice my knee after every session. I was seeing physio twice a week over there, and thankfully to her at Physio Titans in Montreal, I probably wouldn't have made it to the fight if I wasn't going seeing the physio. But nah, I was throwing single shots and stuff. I would have liked to have been a bit more aggressive, but he was a tricky guy. He was tough, so it was kind of because he came prepared that I wasn't able to execute quite what I wanted to do.
And how much pressure were you feeling going into that fight with 2 losses, previously? How much pressure were you feeling, and did that affect you at all?
Yeah, I mean, that was always on the back of my mind. I knew that if I lost, then I would probably get cut. So, yeah, that's always on your mind. But to be honest, like every fight, you're nervous anyway. So even if you've won your last 10 fights or 2 fights, whatever, I always get nervous for fights. It's just trying to control the nerves, realise that obviously my opponent feels the same, and just try and have fun. try and enjoy it, because if you're not enjoying it, what's the point?
Yeah.
So yeah, the fight was really weird for me. Like, I didn't expect him to fight that way at all. I had prepared for him to kind of run away, or not really run away, but like bounce and be on the back foot. Me being the guy walking forward, and then him lunging in what he's done in his previous fights. He was bouncy on the back foot, and then he'd lunge in against Darren Till and Jimmy Wallhead.
Yeah.
So yeah, when we started, and you know, he kind of started pushing me back, I was kind of on autopilot a bit. Never really prepared for that, but luckily I'm experienced enough to be able to adapt, and I got the win. So yeah.
And he'd been out of the cage for quite a while before your fight, so I guess he'd maybe learnt a few things and adapted his style in that time.
Yeah, that's it. I think about a year and a half he had off. I noticed he had been to a few different places. He was training in Thailand, training at American Top Team, and kind of travelling about the place. So he would definitely have got better. And you know, that was tricky for me a little bit as well, because I didn't know what kind of style he was going to come out to. And like I said, he came out and fought completely different to what I expected. And he was a lot harder to hit than I thought as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a bit, obviously a bigger frame than me, big lightweight dropping to welterweight, and also in his previous fights he gassed, and that was at welterweight. He didn't look like he had great cardio, but he didn't really gas in this one. I spoke to him after it. I spoke to him on the bus.
Yeah.
We spoke and what we fought, and he told me that he initially thought they had won, but when he watched the fight back, he agrees that he knows why he lost, because he wasn't checking the leg kicks. Yeah, and I would have liked to have done more, like hit him more with my hands and a bit more aggression, and but you know, I just kept kicking him in the leg and he wasn't checking it. So
Yeah.
it's just the same as jabbing him in the face, I suppose. If you're punching somebody in the face and they're not doing nothing about it, you're just going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
And that's what I did, and obviously it helped me get the win. So
Were you nervous at all about the decision? Because in London, a lot of us in the crowd.
hello.
Can you hear me?
Sorry, you broke up.
Sorry.
You
Okay.
broke up there. Did you say was I nervous about the outcome?
Yeah, well, definitely given in London, a lot of us thought that you'd won that decision and it didn't go your way. So I was just wondering how you felt when you were waiting for the decision to come in.
Yeah, I'm always nervous when it goes to the judge's decision, because you've seen some crazy decisions like that. I knew it was close. Like, I knew it was a close fight. No very much happened either way. Watching it back, I definitely feel like I won at least 2 rounds to 1. But even I'm maybe being biased, but even 3 rounds to 0. I mean, he controlled the centre of the octagon, but he did nothing with it. That's only really good if he's actually taking advantage of it. He was controlling the octagon, but he wasn't being the aggressor. He was countering me. The only time he really landed any shots on me was when he countered my left hand. So I was trying to hit him, he would step back, and he countered me a couple of times. And no disrespect to him, I mean, I was speaking to him after it and stuff, and he's a sound guy, and I hope him all the best, but every single shot he hit me with, like, you know, it didn't hurt at all. You know, I've been hit way harder in training, so...
Yeah. And could you feel your knee hampering you in there, or was it just in training that you were feeling the knee and it stopped you from doing what you wanted in training?
Nah, I never really felt it in the fight. It was just the whole fight camp. Like, I'm one of the guys that I like to do strength conditioning for my fight camp. I usually do strength conditioning maybe 2-3 times a week, and at least one session where I kind of do a really hard training session, strength conditioning. I usually run 3-4 times a week, like road work. But
Yeah.
I didn't run. I've never ran. I don't think I've ran once since my surgery. Because I got surgery in April. That was on my right knee though. It's my
Right.
left knee that's giving me bother. So yeah, I done no road work.
Does that
I
make it
done
harder
strength
to cut the
conditioning.
weight? Not being able to run?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, because I couldn't really run and I couldn't do strength conditioning. I done a lot more MMA type training, and then I went swimming a few times because I know that that's less impact on the knee. But even at that, even from my swimming, like after it was swelling right up again, anti-inflammatories and ice in my knee, seeing the physio. So it wasn't ideal, but I kind of did what I needed to do to make sure that I had enough cardio and the weight was coming down.
You must have had to eat really well as well.
Yeah, I ate well really the whole camp. I done it at TriStar, so I was getting meals from a guy called PJ in the gym. He does the ready-made meals, so I got them a few weeks, and because I wasn't with my missus, she's the one that's always saying, "Oh, come on, can we get an Indian? You've still got 3 weeks to your fight." Sometimes I'll obviously give in, and you're right, my weight's good. So I ate really good all camp, and so that obviously helped.
So aside from the actual training itself at TriStar, it must be easier. I mean, I'm sure you really miss your family, but it must be easier to just have to focus on your own training, eating, and sleeping, and nothing else.
Yeah, that's it. Like one of the main reasons I went wasn't just for the training; it was for my kind of lifestyle outside training. Like even like on a general day for me just now, especially the last week because my partner's just started full-time work. She's got her own. She's been doing nails for like a year, but she's just moved into a shop. She's a nail technician, so she's doing nails. So I'll take the kids to school in the morning. Then I've got to walk a dog. I've got a golden retriever, so he needs like a good hour walk, run. Then when I've done that, I need to go and train. Then I'm maybe doing privates with some of my guys because I've got my own club as well. So I'll do privates. Then I've got to pick the kids up because my missus is working. Make tea. And then I'll maybe do more privates, and then I coach at night. Or maybe train again. Yeah, it's a pretty hard going, and all these distractions in the way. So at least when I was at TriStar, it was just train, eat, and sleep.
Yeah.
And I knew that it was an important fight, so I made sure that I went.
And Firas Zahabi always seems really scientific and super technical. What was it like training with him, and how does it differ to what you do at higher level?
To be honest, it's really similar. Like our gym at home is one of the most respected gyms in the whole world. Especially obviously the UK and Scotland. Like we're by far the best gym in Scotland. We were ranked. This is maybe 5 years ago. We were ranked #1 in the UK. I think Kai Bon and stuff were ranked second. Between the 3 Dinky Ninja clubs, we've probably got like 10 BJJ black belts and multiple, probably over up to like 100 fighters. I don't know what the stats are now, but they've been doing it for years. So yeah, I'm lucky that way. But being at TriStar, obviously Firas has got the experience cornering some of the guys at the highest level in the world, GSP, main events, the biggest pay-per-views ever, and you know he's probably cornering guys in the UFC every week. So Yeah, like I first went to TriStar, I think it was maybe 5-6 years ago. So I've got a good kind of relationship. I've trained with Ras and all those guys quite a bit now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
And your head coach, James Doolan, spoke to one of my colleagues, I think last week, about cornering you with Faraz and how well they work together. How is it for you having them both in your corner?
Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, like I always wanted James because he's kind of one of the main reasons I've got to where I am. He's always kind of like sometimes even look up to him like he's like a dad type thing. He's kind of helped me. After the Felder fight, I ended up getting a bit depressed, and he was one of the guys that was always checking in on me and making sure I was all right and trying to get me back to training, telling me that he'd to come to training. He worked 1-to-1 with me. Didn't charge me now. He was just one of those guys that are out to help, and not just after like your money or whatever. And then for us, it's just good to have two of the kind of highest level coaches in the world, and it all worked out. Like for us, kind of, even though I done all my camp at TriStar, for us took like a kind of backseat and allowed James to be in control and just kind of helped out, gave some suggestions, and both their corner advice in the fight was good.
So the strategy, was that James that came up with it and Faraz helped to implement it, or did the three of you sit down and discuss it?
Well, I never really had a game plan for this fight. Sometimes some of my best fights has been when I've not had a game plan. Like the game plan was just to go in and try and and take me. You there?
Yeah, sorry, it just broke up for a second.
Sorry. All right, so the game plan was just to go in and try and win. I planned on trying to keep it on the feet. I expected Jessen to take me down, so that was a surprise. He didn't shoot once. And then I spoke to him after it. He told me that he expected me to try and take him down.
Really?
Yeah, it was a really weird fight. A really weird fight. I think I expected him to be on the back foot and counter. That's what I ended up doing. He was the one being, pressuring forward, and yeah, I got the win. That's the main thing. But I'm definitely no 100% satisfied with the performance. There's a lot of things I've got to go and improve on from that fight. But like I said, it wasn't. I'm just glad to get that fight camp out of the way, try and get healthy, and get on this London card in March.
Do you think that will be your next fight? Oh.
Yeah, hopefully. I've said to my manager, Ali, that I want on it, and I think he's been speaking to Sean already. And
do you have an opponent in mind?
Part of the manager. Oh, sorry, but I'll just let Sean in that. I've not really got any beef with anybody, so to call anybody out, I kind of wish I did. I fight way better when I have got beef with somebody. When I didn't like them, when I want to hurt them. So I hope I do get somebody that's a bit of an arse, somebody that's go try and wind me up.
There's enough
so
of them
I really
about.
want to. Yeah, that's it. So hopefully I get that guy. My manager just wrote to me. Well, part of the management team said two guys that I don't know if they've been in talks, but two guys that we're maybe going to look to get. I'll not say yet, but I'm hoping I get someone lined up soon.
Yeah, me too. I'll be looking forward to that. I'll definitely be there for that one. So should we talk about your gym, Braveheart MMA, and the classes that you've got going on there?
Yeah, we could do this. That's where I am now. I've just finished coaching MMA striking and then MMA wrestling. So I started it, I think I started a year ago. That's it been a year that I've been coaching now. Started it last, it was like around this time exactly, at the end of November. Kind of started it, one, because I wasn't really sure what was happening. I couldn't wait around for the UFC. That's when I was in this predicament with the UFC. Wasn't sure what was going on, but also just I think sometimes fighting and only fighting, people probably think that's the best job in the world, to just train and not do anything else, but you end up with a lot of time on your hands because you can't train for 8 hours.
No.
You train for an hour or two in the morning and then maybe an hour or two at night. And I found that I wasn't really happy with that. I was unhappy, and you can do like privates and stuff to stay busy. But ever since I've started the gym, like regardless of the way my UFC career goes, I'm glad I opened the gym. Like, so it feels so good to me to be able to pass on my knowledge and help other guys, and I'm hoping to even take guys to the UFC and be able to do what I done. I came from absolute nowhere and nothing. Never, like, I started MMA when I was 19. I didn't do any combat sport before that, apart from maybe brawling in the street. So I believe I can take guys. I've got guys that are younger than that in the gym and just really keen. So I'll try and take them as far as I can.
So do you think coaching full time is where your career will be after your fighting days are behind you?
Yeah, to be honest, like, I've put that much into MMA. Like, I've got a set of brains. I went and done a HNC and a HND in construction management before I got into MMA. I could have went and done the other year and got my degree in construction management, but and I got some like other qualifications in that school. But to be honest, I put that much into my life, MMA, like 10 years.
Yeah.
So, I've not really got anything else that I'm really good at apart from fighting. So, probably coaching, doing privates, either that or I'd probably be like full-time criminal, getting up to no good, being in the jail maybe if I never done MMA. I mean, God knows. But aye.
Well, I saw one interview straight after the last fight where you said if you lost, you thought you would have been cut by the UFC and you thought you might give up fighting entirely. Obviously, that one did go your way. How much longer do you see yourself fighting for?
I'm probably just going to let it dictate itself. Like, it just depends on how long I could stay in the UFC. Like, I'm in this sport to try and be the best in the world. I know I've got a long way to go. I mean, just before the Felder fight, I was ranked kind of about 20th in the world. So that means there's only 19 guys that were in front of me in the UFC. So I wasn't too far away. Obviously, I had a couple of setbacks. So just look at getting back up there, always improving. I'm still not that old, 28. No. So I'm thinking maybe like fighting until I'm 32. I think I've got maybe another 4 good years in me. I didn't want to be one of these guys that are fighting until they're 40 and then I end up brain dead when I'm 50 or whatever.
You definitely won't be able to get your earphones in by then.
I'm already a bit brain dead. Getting punched in the face isn't that good for you, especially when you've done it for 10 years. And it's crazy when you think about it. Like, when somebody bangs their head, like your average person, they bang their head, it's such a huge deal. Like, especially if you're cut and you're bleeding. Like, oh, big panic. Like I probably get on a fight camp. I probably get punched in the face 100 times a week. So you're getting hit 100 times a week. Add that up over a year. Add it up over 10 years. There's a lot of hits to the head. So may as well. Saying that, a good life is better than a long, boring life.
100%, I agree with that. I'm going to go to some questions in a minute because we've got some really funny ones on the screen. But just a couple of things that I wanted to ask you about. I've seen on your Instagram you're doing yoga. Pretty good at the old headstand. Does that really help with like flexibility and stuff? I guess it must do.
Yeah, but a lot of people think that. So I was trying to see what. I'm hoping my battery doesn't die because I'm using these headphones. I've had to take out my charger. No. I'm really, really badly known for my phone dying when I'm on interviews. I don't know what % I've got, but hopefully no. Nah, yoga isn't just flexibility. It's like obviously a mixture of flexibility, strength. Christ, I've had a mind blank. Balance, strength, flexibility, and like for the mind. I went all laggy there.
Signal.
Yep.
You still there?
Yeah, I'm here. You see me?
Cool. And the other thing I wanted to ask you about was your cupping therapy that you had on your leg. Does that work?
My what?
Oh wow, we're gonna get a demo. This is amazing.
I'm a bit close, but there we go. I would go further away, but
that's the first time I've ever had someone do a headstand on an interview. I'm seriously impressed.
You couldn't even really see it. I could have been cheating, to be fair, but nah, I'm no bad. Ever since I've started yoga, it's helped my game a little bit as well. I've been able to get into certain positions, and obviously it prevents injury. Like, one of the best things I feel yoga does is body awareness.
Right.
If I wake up and I do a yoga session, I can, like, it's great for body awareness. Like, I might do yoga and then during that session, because you're getting in loads of different positions and you're working every muscle, every joint, I might realise that my left hamstring is really extremely tight. Right. And if I didn't do yoga, I would maybe go and train later. I would throw a kick and I would tear my hamstring. But because I've done yoga and it's really like not impact or sudden movements, I've been able to realise that my hamstring's really tight. I know I need to warm that up a little more, stretch it a little more after. So it's really good for body awareness and kind of making sure you don't get injured.
That's really interesting. And the other thing that I wanted to know that I'd seen on your Instagram was the cupping therapy. Do you think that works?
Cupping.
At all? Yeah.
You
had that on your leg?
To be honest, I've had it a few times. I think it's just the same as, like, there's loads of ways to get new blood to an injured. Yeah. That inflammation to go away, so the quicker the bad blood can kind of circle, the better. You there?
Right, I'm gonna. In case I can now. In case your battery dies, I'm gonna get through a few of these questions.
Cool.
I think some might be from your mates.
Probably.
I think a few of them are taking the piss out of you for your headstand and asking you to do a backflip next. Uh,
I was going to say I would, but I'm sitting here cold in the gym. End up injuring myself.
Please don't injure yourself on my account. I feel so bad. Blair Woods wants to know, did you eat the Reese's Pieces, you fatty?
I didn't even know if there was anything in it. He was just training. Yeah, he done my striking session and he's left. I'm going to actually, I don't know, he's left his Reese's Pieces. Oh, he actually left me 2 of them. Bro, there we go. They will be getting eaten now, Blair. Bro, cheers for telling me.
My husband's asked if I've had my picture taken with you. I got my picture taken with you at UFC Liverpool.
What? What's that, sorry?
I said my husband's asked a question if I've had my picture taken with you before. I had my photo taken with you at UFC Liverpool when I was doing my fangirl thing.
Who, me and you?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. You need to send me it.
Louise Holloway said, anyone in particular you'd like to fight next? We've covered that. Alan Carstairs said, have your management team reached out for negotiations of your new contract? But that happened a couple of fights ago, didn't it?
I signed a 4-fight contract. I've fought 2 of them, so I have 2 fights left. So technically, it would be after my next fight, the renegotiation would happen.
After you get a impressive finish at UFC London.
That's it.
Jamie Littler wants to know how you cope with the new Iron Brew recipe.
No, I don't even drink Iron Brew.
I actually thought it was a myth that Scottish people drank it, and then Frankie told me that.
My missus drinks it. She drinks it like a tap. She probably goes through like 10 litres of. In fact, 20 litres a week or something. Crazy.
Seriously?
She doesn't. Oh, she doesn't drink water. The only thing she drinks is Iron Brew and Red Bull.
That's how I imagine all Scottish people to be. I imagine they only drink
water and
Iron
coffee
Brew
for me.
Buckfast.
I've not drunk that in a while, but I used to drink that.
What do you drink when you are out on the smash?
Gin and tonic.
Nice. Very trendy.
Gin and tonic. Used to drink vodka. I didn't like beer, so that's why in the past when I used to go out drinking with my friends, I'd always be the one hammered first. Because they'd be on the beers, and by the time they've drunk 2 beers, I've drunk 20 vodkas.
Yeah. They're a short drink for sure.
So.
We've just got another comment. What kind of dog food do you feed your dog?
Bakers. He's asking me that because he's like been my friends for ages, and he gave me a nickname like years ago, the Doug. So the Doug is basically like a dog, but a Scottish way of saying the Doug. And it's supposedly because I eat like a dog. I eat like a dog. That's that.
So you feed the dog Reese's Pieces tonight?
For my birthday, one year, I can't remember what it was he got me. He got me a cake, and there was a big, huge can of dog food right in the middle of the cake.
Oh dear. Right, Lee Hurd. I bet there's 20 folk at the side of Ray like the old days when he was on camera.
Me? There's nobody here. They're all away.
Oh, you're the hardest worker in the gym.
That's it. First here, last away. Oh. To be fair, I was the laziest one the night, though. I was just coaching the night, so didn't train. I was the laziest one in the gym the day.
Same guy, Jamie Littler. Have you ever bought anything on bonus ball from Dean McGill?
Nah, I didn't like gambling. I used to have not a total problem, but I used to have a little bit of addiction with gambling, playing the slot machines, and there's a couple of times I lost my rent money and everything. Gambling's a dangerous game, a mugs game. So I stay away from all gambling.
Well, the last time, my UFC picks don't usually come good. I think your win was the last time I won anything. So my predictions aren't normally spot on. Alan Carstairs, how did it feel training with GSP?
It felt good. So I've trained with GSP for over the last 6 years. Every time I go to TriStar, like even the first time I went, I remember when he first came in the gym, I was starstruck. Like, I'm looking over, like, that's GSP. My God. Then I'm standing in the changing room and he's standing next to me in the scud, naked. And even that, I'm like, oh my God. But now I just see him as any other kind of guy. I've trained with him, sparred him, and he's really cool. Like, helped me out after that last camp, showed me some stuff. Always willing to drill with you. We practiced backflips.
How many times do you get asked that question?
Quite a lot. Like, it's probably because I posted a little clip of us sparring on my Instagram story. So there's probably loads of people that didn't realise I've trained with GSP. Probably, I can't remember how. But I've been to TriStar I think 5 times now, 4 or 5 times, and obviously every time he's always training and we're sparring and so.
There's a bit of a Brit contingent over there as well, isn't there? Not all the time, but...
A what? A Brit? Oh, at TriStar?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was. There used to be a lot more. I think Tom Breeze was like the first kind of guy to go over, I think, anyway. And I remember him telling me he initially went for 3 weeks to TriStar, and then he got asked to stay longer to help GSP with his camp. I think GSP sorted him with a hotel and even paid him for staying longer because he was similar to one of his opponents.
Right.
And then there's a few other guys, Brad, Arnold Allen, and all the other guys. Yeah, there's quite a lot.
Ross Whelan asked what sort of guys you're looking to fight next year.
To be honest, like I said, I'm just going to let Sean Shelby decide that, who I'm getting next. I'm still, I've won my last fight, but I lost 2 before that, so I'm still 2-2 in my last 4 fights. So it's not the best. I still need to get those wins, get on a streak. So I'll take, I'll see what he kind of offers, and then maybe after the next fight, I'll look at maybe trying to get a top 15, top 20 guy.
Yeah. How many times would you like to fight next year, ideally?
Probably 3. Before, my first year of fighting, I fought 12 times in a year. I fought every 2 weeks. I fought twice in 8 days. But that was just staying ready, and I was submitting the guys really quickly and not getting injured. So, but at this level, obviously, one fight is probably 3 months long.
Yeah.
you're around 12 weeks a fight camp. So fighting 3 times a year doesn't really seem a lot to some people, but that's, well, three. If you're taking 3 months for a fight camp, there's 369. There's 9 months when you're on fight camp, and then the other 3 months, there's maybe wee breaks in between each fight. So that's 3 fights a year. Still quite a busy year.
Yeah. Do you eat clean even out of fight camp, or do you treat yourself a bit more?
No, because I just ate day 2 Reese's. Nah, I do. I try and eat clean. But I was playing around with the intermittent fasting a little bit.
Yeah.
For that fight camp, and even before I started the fight camp. But so I've been trying to go back to that. And when I say trying, that's what I mean, trying, because I've been...
What's the window you give yourself?
Well, when I was doing it before, I was changing it up sometimes, because I would stop eating at around 5. I wasn't totally checking the time, but I would basically have my last meal around tea time. 5, 6, 4:30, whatever. And then I just wouldn't eat again until I wake up morning. So it could be 8 o'clock, it could be 9 o'clock, whenever I wake up, and it's roughly about 16 hours. Mm-hmm. But sometimes, it worked, and my appetite went down, and obviously I was losing weight, and I felt great. But sometimes, like if I'm training at say 10 o'clock in the morning in Glasgow, and I need to leave at like 10 to 9, and it's not really allowing yourself to get those nutrients in the if I was waking up and eating, felt a bit flat. So what I would do on those days is, instead of stop eating at 5, I would go home and I would basically have my breakfast the night before though. So I would have porridge about 11 o'clock at night, and then I just wouldn't eat anything in the morning. Right. I would just wake up, have a coffee, and then go and train, and that felt good doing that, mixing that up sometimes as well.
Cool. Porridge at 11 p.m. Nice.
I've been trying to do the fasting again this week. Like no eating at 5. Last eating about 5, and then I'm going home and I'm like, right, I'm not going to eat nothing. I'm going to fast, and then it turns into an absolute monstrosity amount of food. Like the other day, what was I ate the other day? I went home. I ended up having bacon and egg rolls at night. Then I had a bowl of crunchy nut. The night before that, I ended up eating something, I can't remember what, and then I had 3 bowls of crunchy nut. And then obviously sweets, crisps, everything like that. So bad, and then I get so annoyed with myself. It's like when I'm dieting sometimes or fasting, and then I end up giving up and I end up like just binging, and then I eat even more. Even when I'm full, I eat. It's like I'm eating because I'm pissed off at myself for eating rubbish. Yeah, that's it, and I end up just eating until I feel sick.
We've all been there. So Ryan McGill wants to know, is it true you've got beef with Mayweather?
Mayweather, I'll fight Mayweather in MMA. In fact, boxing or MMA. Who gives a shit that he's going to box my face off? If I'm making 100 million or whatever, I'll fight anybody in the world for that sort of money.
I definitely don't think he's the scariest person to fight for that kind of money.
Oh, definitely know if it's MMA anyway. Choke the life out of
him. Is it true you've got beef with vegans?
Vegans? Each to their own. I went through a little period where I even thought about going vegan, and I tried it a bit. You know what's funny actually? One of the times I actually really thought about going vegan I went to Viva Brazil the next day, which is ridiculous because that's a steakhouse, like the most amount of red meat you can eat. I never really thought about going vegan at that time. It's when I watched this video that was like, it really opened my eyes to some stuff.
Right.
But, nah, each to their own. But I like meat, so I'm going to eat it.
I couldn't live without eggs. Eggs and cheese, that would just do me in. Mark Diacazi for UFC London.
Who said that? Him?
No. Let me find. Alan Carson.
I was going to say, I thought it was him that said that. What? I'm sure he lost, is it 3 in a row or 4 in a row? I'm not sure. To be honest, I don't know if he's still definitely in the UFC.
Right, yeah.
I don't know what his situation is, but nah, there's no point in fighting him anymore. Like, the hype train's been derailed. I can't even say it. Derailed.
Yeah.
He's been what do you call it? Oh, I can't even think of the word, but
you want to fight someone
he's
going to raise your profile, I guess, and you feel like he's on
that's it, and
side.
That's it. I want somebody that's going to put me closer to the top, and fighting him isn't that. So,
who's the hardest hitting opponent you've faced?
Well, I kind of got to say Paul Felder because he knocked me out, but he's the only guy. He's the only guy that's ever knocked me out. So, but to be honest, he clipped me with a knee. It wasn't even a really hard shot. I just never seen it coming, and then finished me with elbows. But the hardest I remember it being hit was against, I think it was against Dale Hardiman. I fought Dale Hardiman. I beat him by decision. I never dominated the fight, but I won all 3 rounds. I was never really in much danger. Comfortable win, but at the end of the 3rd round, I'm sure you'll get that online somewhere. At the end of the round, I think there's like 20 seconds to go, maybe even 15. He throws an overhand right.
Yeah.
And even the commentators like, oh, he just got caught with a huge right hand. And then, to be fair, like, they praised me up. They're like, oh, it doesn't even look like it's bothered Stevie. So by my body language, it didn't look like it hurt me, but it was the hardest shot I've ever been hit with, I think. But it was weird. It wasn't like, I've been hit before. He even hit me with a left hook that same fight, and it made me a bit dizzy. But it didn't hurt, that punch. The one I'm talking about, the overhand right, it didn't rock me, but I just remember it being painful. It was like a proper sore punch. It caused nerve damage for 8 weeks as well. I couldn't feel my face. This part of my face here. And my teeth. Every time I brushed my teeth for 8 weeks, and I could only feel that I was brushing half my teeth.
That must have been so weird.
I know. So,
were you worried it wasn't going to come back?
To be honest, yeah, because it was really annoying. Like, it was like when you go to the dentist and you've had what do you call it? The
anaesthetic.
Like the numbness.
Yeah.
That's it. There we go. Anaesthetic. It was like that. Like, I just had 10 shots of that or something. Walking about with a droopy face. Wasn't it nice? Like, I actually got that once before as well. I've had that done twice, but the other time was my training partner, Martin Delaney, sparring at the Grip House with Martin Delaney, and he's one of the kind of hardest hitting training partners that I've ever had. I remember he landed, I think it was a overhand right, and I landed a right hook at the same time. It's like we nearly knocked each other out. He caused nerve damage to me, and I think I busted his nose or something. I can't remember what it was, but so I've had nerve damage twice. That's what I'm saying. This fighting stuff's no good. I should have stuck in at school.
You were talking about the commentators there quickly in that fight. What did you think about the commentators on your last fight? They seem to have a kind of quite a harsh, I thought, opinion of, or a different perception of how the fight was going than it maybe looked from high.
Yeah, definitely. You know what the funny thing is? When I first watched the fight, I watched it on mute. Not even like, I didn't do that purposely or anything. Like, pardon me, I was in the green room, which is like the UFC kind of after room for the fighters. So I'm eating food in the green room, and me and my coach are watching it on mute, just purely out of respect, so that my opponent that's sitting not that far away from me can't see that I'm watching it. And like I'm comfortably win all 3 rounds. And then I watched it again, obviously, when I got back to the hotel and loud, and it makes the fight look a lot closer. I feel like it makes the fight look closer than it was, because any shot I land on him, they're not really like, saying much. And then when he was landing on me, it was like fireworks had just went off. But nah, I didn't know both the commentators, but I know one was obviously Dan Hardy. Dan Hardy, he's brilliant. I love Dan Hardy. Some of the stuff he was saying, I totally agree with as well. Like, there is some fights, I think, where, or even sparring as well, I'm going into this kind of what do you call it? Like, just where I'm kind of like, I could do more. Like, I'm not getting out of first gear. So I can't remember what he called it, but he says it in the fight, like something I'm doing. So I agree with that. But again, like I said, Jason was controlling the octagon, but never actually starting to engage him.
Yeah.
It takes 2 to make a fight as well. So if he engaged with me a lot more, then obviously it would also have been a better fight. And if he actually checked my leg kick, then I maybe wouldn't have threw it as much. I got a wee bit into autopilot, like just I was like that guy that doesn't know any of the moves on a UFC game. They just keep doing the one move.
If it keeps working, though.
That's it, exactly. I'm kicking his leg, he's not doing that. I'm just go keep kicking your leg. So aye.
Who's Stephen Morrison?
Stephen Morrison. I'm sure I went to school with him. Could be wrong though, but I think he was at my school.
Games room?
Is he getting what?
When is he getting this fight gear for his games room?
His fight gear? I don't even have a clue. Like, God knows, I reckon what that's about. Maybe I'm due on fight gear, or I don't know. Maybe he's asking for it. Maybe.